Okay, so the first thing I got to do, obviously, with installing the new brass breech, is removing the plastic breech that's currently on there. So step one is going to be removing the accessories that are already mounted to the plastic breech. The attachment here that the sling attaches to, and of course the dot sight. Okay, now that those are removed, the next thing I want to go about doing is loosening the two screws that are clamping the barrel inside the breech. One of them is a metric screw, the one that came with the breech. The other one that I added is a 632 grub screw. So I'm going to need two different Allen wrenches, one metric and one SAE. Back those off. Couple of turns should do it. Now, the only two things holding the breech on are the front breech screw, which is underneath the bolt right now, and this back screw. First one want to remove is the one underneath the bolt. So we're going to have to pull this back. And actually, I'm going to start with my very small precision Phillips screwdriver. That should help strip away that black crayon wax that I used to cover up the head of the screw to keep pellets from dropping down. Okay, um, that front breech screw is loosened up now. So now go about taking off the back. And actually, I've got it loosened. Before I take it completely out, I'm going to remove the bolt handle from the bolt. This is also going to need to be switched over to the new breech, the bolt assembly, the bolt and the bolt handle. This back plug on the breech and now when I remove this screw, the barrel and the breech, well, I should be able to slide the barrel out once it clears the transfer port. But then the breech will just come off and we'll have to remove the bolt. There's a big chunk of wax that just came out. That was covering that front breech screw. Okay, both dropped out simultaneously. The back, the rear long breech attachment screw, and the little screw that locates underneath the bolt. Using an Allen wrench, I think I could press this bolt out the back. There we go. It's back here. It's cleared. That just comes out. There's the extended bolt probe. This lifts up, clears the transfer port. And that is the removal of the plastic breech, which of course is usable, as I've proven. So we'll definitely be hanging on to that. Now, as far as installing the brass breech, first thing we're going to want to do is install the barrel. Make sure that the ports are lined up. The port in the barrel is lined up with the port in the breech. Oh, there was one thing. But before installing the rear screw, we want to get the bolt. The hole is lined up, the bolt handle hole is lined up with the slat. So we'll go ahead and put that in. Retighten down that front breech screw. I'm going to go back and give that another good go ahead and release the tension on that hammer. Now we'll install the back. That's a good sign. It's screwing right in, so that's lining up well. Before we tighten that down too much, that's good. I'm not seeing a gap between the breech and the top of the hammer tube. I believe I've got that front breech screw as tight as it's going to go. Tighten down the back one. And the brass breech is installed. Now it's a matter of just putting back the sling attachment and the dot sight. But I am going to go and give another nice little snug down on these barrel clamping screws. and the 632 screw. Let's see if that's pretty tight. So that should do it, other than, let's see, let's put the plug back in. Hopefully it's a nice snug press fit. So before I go any further and do anything as far as the sling attachment or the dot sight, before remounting them to this breech, I believe what I'm going to do is I've got to do two things. Number one, this plug that I just put in the back, I've got to make sure I can get that out. And then the other thing I would like to do is shoot this over the crony and see what I get velocity wise. Because the possibility is always there that this may lead to reduced velocities, at which point I would most likely put the plastic breech back on. I'm going to go with whatever gives me the highest velocities. Again, my thinking is, with the brass breech being as heavy as it is, I should get a better seal, is what I'm thinking, between the transfer port and the barrel port, with the increased torque I should be able to get on both of the breech mounting screws and the added weight of the breech itself. That's what I'm thinking, but I need to prove that out. So that's what I'll be doing.